Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Ferreter, and what I want you to learn about today is the concept of upwelling and how it works. So here's what you have in 4 different places on the Earth. There are 4 spots on the Earth where there are strong offshore winds. And what that means is winds that are blowing from the shore out to sea. You can see that here at the top of this diagram, right? Now, when those winds push their way offshore, that leaves an open space behind it, right? Essentially, there's missing water closest to the coast. In this area, you've got water that is now missing, a gap that's been created. And what happens is, when that gap is created, deeper, colder water from down at the floor of the ocean rushes up to fill that empty gap. Okay, so we're basically, upwelling is exactly as it's described, right? You've got water that is moving up and filling a gap closest to the shore. Why is there a gap closest to the shore? Well, offshore winds blowing from the coast out to sea, have carried the surface water away. Do you understand that? Now, why should we care about upwelling? Well, it's actually ridiculously, fantastically important. All of that deeper, colder water is also nutrient and gas rich. There's lots of carbon dioxide stored down there, and there's lots of nutrients stored down there as well. And so when that deeper, colder water rushes up to fill the gap, it's also carrying all those nutrients and gases with it. And when it carries those nutrients and gases up to the surface, the phytoplankton, which are the little plant-like creatures that live in the ocean, get really happy because they survive on those gases and on those nutrients. So you end up with a phytoplankton explosion, lots and lots of plants that form in the water off of the coast where upwelling is occurring. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, who cares if there's a bunch of phytoplankton blooming off of the coast in 4 different spots on Earth? Well, remember that along with phytoplankton, they're producers, right? Which means you're going to end up with primary consumers eating the phytoplankton and then larger fish eating the primary consumers. So this upwelling plays a really important role in the food chains of the ocean. By pulling nutrients up to the surface and allowing the phytoplankton to explode, to bloom, to feed off of all of those nutrients, you're now creating the foundation, the producers for the food chain. And that's a really important deal. So you're going to learn a lot more about upwelling in the next couple of slides. I really want you to pay attention as you're working through them. It's an important concept to understand. But what I wanted you to see here is upwelling starts when you have strong offshore winds carrying water from the coastline out to sea, which leaves a gap behind it. And that gap behind it allows deeper, colder, nutrient-rich water to fill that space. And by pulling the nutrients up off of the ocean floor, you're creating the foundation for the food chains in the ocean. All right, go on and check out the next couple of slides and see if you can do a little bit more learning about what upwelling is and how it works.